In 2024, a team of doctors in Italy cut open the arteries of 257 people. They were removing plaque. Routine surgery, the kind that reduces your risk of a stroke. But when they analyzed what they pulled out of those arteries, they found something that wasn't supposed to be there. Plastic. Tiny, jagged shards of microplastic. Embedded inside the artery walls of nearly 60% of the patients. Lodged in the exact place where heart attacks and strokes begin. Then they followed those patients for the next 3 years. And what they found got published in the New England Journal of Medicine, one of the most respected medical journals on Earth. The people with plastic in their arteries were 4.5 times more likely to have a heart attack, a stroke, or die. 4.5 times. One cardiovascular researcher who reviewed the study said, and I'm quoting, "When it comes to factors that drive heart disease, very, very, very few things carry that much risk." So let me ask you the obvious question. If plastic is showing up inside human arteries, how is it getting in there? And more importantly, how do you keep it out? That's what this video is about. Microplastics have been found in human blood, in the placenta. Every single one of 62 placenta samples tested by researchers at the University of New Mexico contained microplastics. Babies are now being born pre-polluted. They've been found in human testicular tissue, in lung tissue, in breast milk, in blood clots, and most alarmingly, in the human brain. A study analyzing brain tissue found that human brains contain far higher concentrations of microplastics than the liver or the kidneys. The brain, of all places, is accumulating the most. And it's getting worse, fast. Researchers found that the amount of microplastic in human brain tissue rose by roughly 50% in just 8 years, between 2016 and 2024. Read that again. The plastic burden in human brains went up 50% in under a decade. And the brains with the highest concentration of all? The ones belonging to people who had been diagnosed with dementia. Now, to be careful and honest, that's a correlation. It does not prove plastic causes dementia. But it is exactly the kind of finding that should make you sit up and pay attention. Because the trend line is going in one direction, and it's going there quickly. So the weight of plastic you eat was never the point. The point is that these particles don't just pass through you. They embed, they accumulate, they build up in your blood, your organs, and your brain over a lifetime. And the burden is rising every single year. Now, here's the part that actually matters, because you are not helpless in this. You can't get to zero. Plastic is in the air, the rain, the soil, but the research is clear that the biggest sources of exposure are things you can directly control, and most of them are hiding in your kitchen right now. So here are the 10 most effective ways to cut your exposure, starting with the biggest offenders. Number 1. Stop drinking from plastic bottles. This is the single biggest one. A landmark study found that a single liter of bottled water can contain around 240,000 plastic particles, most of them nanoplastics, small enough to pass directly into your bloodstream. Every time you drink bottled water, you're drinking a concentrated dose. And the irony is, you're often paying more for that water than you would for the filtered stuff coming out of your tap. Switch to a good water filter and a glass or stainless steel bottle. Cleaner, cheaper, and you cut one of your largest daily sources instantly. Number 2. Never heat food in plastic. This is the mistake almost everyone makes. Heat is what makes plastics shed. Microwaving food in a plastic container can release millions of microplastic particles directly into your meal. One study estimated up to 4 million particles from a few minutes of microwaving. The plastic wasn't designed to be heated. When it warms up, the bonds break down, and those particles migrate straight into your food, which you then eat. Switch to glass containers. Never microwave in plastic. Never pour boiling water into it. And be careful with plastic-lined takeout containers. Number 3. Filter your water with reverse osmosis. A basic filter helps, but if you want to go further, reverse osmosis filtration removes up to 99.9% of microplastics from tap water. It also removes fluoride, chlorine, and a long list of other contaminants. It's the most effective water filtration method widely available. If you drink a lot of water, and you should, this is one of the highest impact upgrades you can make. Number 4. Use a sauna. This one surprises people. Your body has a natural way of flushing out some of the chemicals that ride along with microplastics. Sweating. Specifically, sweating helps eliminate phthalates and other plastic-associated chemicals through your skin. Some research on sauna use has shown meaningful reductions in these chemical compounds in the body. Beyond that, regular sauna use is independently linked to lower rates of heart disease and better longevity. 20 to 30 minutes a few times a week. It's one of the most enjoyable health interventions that exists. Number 5. Ditch the polyester. Your clothes are made of plastic. Polyester, nylon, acrylic, these are petroleum-derived plastic fabrics. And they shed. A single load of laundry can release hundreds of thousands of plastic microfibers. And here's the part most people miss. When you wear synthetic workout clothes and you sweat in them, those fibers and the chemicals in them are in direct, prolonged contact with your skin. Some of these fabrics act as endocrine disruptors. Choose natural fibers where you can. Cotton, wool, linen, especially for the clothes that sit against your skin all day. Number 6. Switch to loose leaf tea. This one is almost unbelievable, and it's real. Many tea bags are not made of paper. They're made of plastic mesh. And when you drop that bag into a cup of near-boiling water, it releases an astonishing number of particles. One study from McGill University found that a single plastic tea bag can release around 11 billion microplastic particles and 3 billion nanoplastic particles into your cup. 11 billion. From one cup of tea, something people drink specifically because they think it's healthy. Switch to loose leaf tea with a metal strainer. You eliminate one of the most overlooked daily sources of plastic in one move. Number 7. Store your food in glass, not plastic. Even without heat, plastic food containers slowly leach particles into whatever they're holding, especially anything acidic, oily, or fatty. That tomato sauce, that salad dressing, those leftovers sitting in plastic in your fridge for 3 days, they're absorbing microplastics the entire time. Glass containers are cheap, they last forever, they don't stain, and they don't leach. This is one of the easiest swaps you'll ever make. Number 8. Chop on wood, not plastic. Think about what a plastic cutting board actually is. It's a soft plastic surface that you drag a sharp knife across hundreds of times every week. Every single cut sends microplastic particles into your food. Studies have found that plastic cutting boards can be a significant source of microplastics in the diet, shedding particles directly onto whatever you're preparing. Switch to a wooden or bamboo cutting board. It's better for your knives, it's naturally antibacterial, and it doesn't shed plastic into your dinner. Number 9. Ditch non-stick pans. Non-stick cookware is coated with PTFE, a synthetic plastic compound. It's part of a family of chemicals called PFAS. And PFAS have a nickname that tells you everything you need to know: forever chemicals. They're called that because they do not break down in the environment or in your body. They accumulate. And when a non-stick pan gets scratched or overheated, that coating degrades and ends up in your food. Switch to stainless steel or cast iron. They last a lifetime, they don't leach chemicals, and cast iron even adds a little iron to your food. Number 10. Eat your fiber. This is the one that works from the inside, and it's beautifully simple. High-fiber foods bind to some of the microplastics in your digestive tract and help carry them out of your body naturally before they can be absorbed. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains. The same foods that are good for basically everything else are also helping to sweep plastic out of your gut. Your body has defenses. Fiber feeds them. So let's step back, because there's a pattern here, and it's the same pattern behind almost everything on this channel. Notice what every single one of these swaps has in common. Glass instead of plastic. Cast iron instead of non-stick. Wood instead of plastic. Loose tea instead of bagged. Real fiber-rich food instead of packaged. Every solution is a move back toward the way your grandparents lived. They stored food in glass and ceramic. They cooked in cast iron. They cut on wood. They drank loose tea. They wore cotton and wool. They weren't being health conscious. That was just the material world before plastic replaced everything in a single generation, because plastic was cheaper for the companies making it. Not safer for you, cheaper for them. The plastic in that Italian study didn't appear in human arteries by accident. It's the accumulated result of a few decades of wrapping, storing, heating, and drinking everything in petroleum-based material. And the science is only now catching up to what that's doing inside us. You can't undo the whole world, but you can control your kitchen. You can control what touches your food and your water every single day. And these 10 changes, most of which cost you almost nothing, meaningfully lower the amount of plastic your body has to deal with for the rest of your life. Your body is already carrying a burden it was never designed to carry. The least you can do is stop adding to it 3 times a day. If you want the evidence-based protocols and the research the industry would rather you never read, that's exactly what we send in our free newsletter. Over 40,000 people already get it. Links in the description. And if you're ready to eat the way your biology was actually designed for, using real, whole foods stored and cooked the way it was meant to be, the Ancestral Kitchen Bible has everything you need. No plastic-wrapped, chemical-laden industrial shortcuts. Just real food. Use code 2026 for 50% off. Links in the description. Share this with someone who still microwaves their lunch in a plastic container. What they can't see is exactly the problem.